Hi, so let's talk about a flatten nested list iterator. So in this question, you have a class called nested iterator, and then you implement the iterator of integer, right? And then inside the constructor, we have the list of the nested integer, right? And then nested integer is the interface, and then you have the three functions. One is boolean, is integer. The other one is integer, get integer, and the last one is the list of nested integer, which is get list. So here's the here's the idea, right? So this is the array, right? The nested list, right? Inside the list, you can have another list, right? And you can have also another list inside another list, right? So we just have to make sure like we take all of the integer out of the list, right? And this is pretty straightforward. So we just have to traverse. We can use linked list, right? And we traverse every single one of them, right? And then to check if the uh, current list or current value doesn't matter. Current variable is if the current variable is integer, right? Then we just append to the linked list. If not, then we just have to use recursion solution to keep going, well, to go into the base case to check if this is integer. If this is, right, we go into the linked list. And this is pretty much it, right? And then since we are using linked list, and then we can just probably use the iterator integer, and then we'll set that equal to the linked list. And this is pretty much the solution. So let me code it. And again, I need to create an iterator integer, right? And I'm gonna call IT. And then in this one, I'm gonna say linked list integer. I'm gonna call this new linked list. And then I need to traverse this nested integer. I'm gonna call nested, something like this, right? And then nested list, right? Traverse, and then I need to have a helper function. I'm gonna use traverse function, and then traverse I need to pass in what? I need to pass in a nested and also the list, right? So let me public, and then so for every single value we just have to append to a list, so we don't need to have a return value. So I'm just using a void, and then this is better just copy and paste, comma, and then integer list of inputs, right? Alright, so now I'm going to check if the nested is integer, right? This is a boolean, right? This is boolean. If this is true, I'm going to just append list.add nest get integer, right? And then I can just what? I can just return right here. If not, I'm going to what? Traverse a list, right? So you could be a list of lists, right? So we don't know. Then we just keep traversing nested. I'm gonna call child nest, and then with what? With the nest get list, right? And then I will just keep doing this exactly the same thing. Traverse this one, and then since this is my child, this is my what? This is my list, right? So this is pretty much it. So at the end, I will just what? I will just coming back here, and I will say iterator list.iterator integer equal to what? List iterator, right? I set the iterator integer to the linked list iterator, and this is pretty much it. So this one is pretty much the same idea. List.in.next, right? And then return list.a.has next. So here we go. So let me run it, and let me submit. Alright, so let's talk about time and space. This is going to be a space, this is going to be a space, right? And this is it, right? So this is all of them, and represent the number of the value in the list, and this is going to be the same thing, right? And for the time, this is time, this is time, this is time. But you do have to traverse every single one of them one time, right? So it's going to be all of them for the time, all of them for the space. And this is a solution, and I will see you next time. Bye.